Okay, so basically, these are different types of narcissists. I'm not gonna go through every single one of them. Actually, there's some of these that are kind of fun. So, like, did you know there's a generational cultural narcissist? That is a thing. Um, Intergenerational traumas, culture, society, authoritarianism, patriarchy, major differences in power, massive divides between the have and have nots, pervasive isms, racism, colonialism, etc. Okay, so by the way, let me just make that very clear. That's on both sides. So there's the people who inherently believe that they're better because they're richer or whatever, let's just say. And then there's the people who think that they are marginalized and deserve and are entitled to things because they're the have-nots, right? So you have both sides of it. I'm not getting into all that. I yeah, the entitled, the benign, the neglectful. They don't engage with anyone unless they want something. Malignant is the one I was talking about when it came to my ex-husband. He's malignant is definitely his diagnosis if you were to have one. This form takes on a grandiose narcissist and adds a more exploitative, antagonistic, so they're gonna come at you, Machiavellian, and at times seemingly psychopathic overlay. Malignant narcissists drive people to the edge and leave them feeling betrayed, fearful, manipulated, tricked, and devastated. They're quite charming, yet political, manipulative. He's not political at all. He didn't even understand anything about politics. Manipulative and often lack remorse. Due to their exploitative nature, they can truly cause a lot of devastation and damage to others. These are individuals who may not only bend and break the rules, but also abuse their power. They often see others as disposable and only a means to an end. Leaving a relationship with a malignant narcissist can be very difficult due to fear of the narcissist and what they may do. And I will tell you, that's a fact. It's a sad fact. When you know that someone has no remorse and like if anyone really saw them who they truly were, they would be in jail, they would be in trouble, no one would want to talk to them. But you know that they will go to any length to ruin your life if you go against them. So if they have no limit to what they will do, the fear is real. It's bad. When you have like, I mean, he would tell me all the time, he'd say stuff like, I'm going to hide drugs somewhere if you kick me out of the house and then call DCF and tell them where they are so that you'll get arrested for possession. And I'll make sure there's enough that you go for trafficking and they'll take the kids. So, because if I can't have them, no one can. So the fear, he controlled me a lot with fear because, you know, I care. I care about my kids. I care about what I worked for. I worked hard. I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy. And here's the thing, I say this all the time too. I understand tough love and I understand, you know, some people they have to cut people out of their lives because, you know, they just cannot they can't support the choices that they're making and I completely understand that. I am the queen of blocking people and noping people out of my life. Like, yeah, not doing that and I'm out. When it comes to loved ones that might be in a situation of this nature, please give them some grace and understand that not everyone is ready. A lot of people have been manipulated, gaslit, and brainwashed, for about lack of a better way to put it, over a long period of time. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of isolation. No one will ever help you, no one believes you. They will go and contact your family and your friends to preemptively tell them how horrible you are so that when you're like, you finally get a chance to call someone and you're like, I just really need to talk to you. They're like, yeah, what'd you do this time? And you're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? They're like, oh, they told me what you did. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that they believe them, but whatever. But there's still that seed of doubt. So they're embarrassed. So give them some grace. If they're not ready to leave yet, it's like telling someone, it's like talking to someone who's going to leave their faith completely. Like they've decided to leave behind everything they've ever known and like leave the Mormon church or something. It is life changing and devastating and terrifying, and it's not easy. So just let them know that you hear them and you see them and that they're not crazy and they are valid and they deserve to be treated better than they have been. if they're being treated badly and you know about it. Let them know they deserve better. Um, and that if they ever need you, you'll be there, or you can send them to me and I'll be there for them. If you just can't go through it, that's okay. I can. I have big enough shoulders. I can handle a lot. Um, I have helped a lot of people out of these situations over the course of my life. I'm not going to talk too much about, I'm not going to betray any of their trusts. Some of the suggestions that I give are do not engage as long as you're safe to not engage with the person. If you can get through a conversation, you know, a lot of narcissists like to talk at you. They'll sit there and they'll stand there for hours and like lecture you on life, even if it's like I have I'm not saying this is true, but like if you have a master's degree in English lit and they're standing there talking to you about English literature and they're completely idiotic and don't know what they're saying, but they're going to talk at you the whole time and you have to shut up and listen. Because if you say anything and disagree with them, then they go off on a tangent and they get angry, they get violent. It's really bad, right? They get hateful. They're trying to get a rise out of you. The correct way to handle that, in my opinion, if you can't immediately get out, first off, run. You aren't going to change them. Get out of there. Take your kids and run. If you're safe to do so and your children are safe to do so, reach out to your family. Get support if you can. But on the flip side, if you have to deal with it and you can't safely get out at that time and you're still trying to figure things out, or if you're just trying to stay safe, don't engage. Don't go back and forth. Even if it kills you, I don't mean that literally. The well-placed, oh, okay. It works really well. In those conversations, let them think that they're, teaching you their new lesson and telling you everything about life that you didn't already know. And, the well-placed they'll get bored and they'll go away, usually. It's when they say something and you know how you get when you see a comment, you're like, I gotta say something back because that was rude and they're wrong and they're wrong. Just understand it doesn't matter. None of that matters. It doesn't matter that they're wrong. That's not the point. The point is they're going to sit there and talk at you until they get you to engage with them so they can belittle you and tear you down if you're in that level of situation of back and forth with them. So do not engage. There was one person in my past that I taught to crochet. So instead of staring at the person who is berating you and lecturing you as if they're an expert when they're not, while they're standing there doing that to you, your focus is not watching them. So they don't have the center of attention. It gets them used to not being center of attention the whole time. Okay. So they're crocheting, they're looking down. So they're not making eye contact. Okay. So they're, oh, you're rolling your eyes, or, oh, look, they're really engaged in what I'm saying. You're not acknowledging and you're not engaging with whatever the hell they're talking about. Okay. And I'm talking, if you know, you know. So if this applies to you, you will understand what I'm talking about. You've been through these discussions. You know what I mean? And do you see the look on my face? It's despicable. Hours and hours of my life wasted listening to somebody fucking talk about stupid shit they don't understand. Anyway, don't engage. I taught them to crochet. So they're looking down while they're like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, blah, 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 this person, they don't know what they're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. And you're like, huh? So what happens is you're focusing and you tune them out. So what a lot of problems is that people are like, that's not what happened. That's not true. That's not how it went. And then, so then there's an argument. And so then you're back and forth and you're engaging. Stop it. Stop it. You don't need to be right. They sure as shit don't care if you're right. They assume that they're right. And even if they're wrong, they don't care. You're never going to prove a point. You're never going to get through. You're never going to change your mind. You're never going to make anything different. Stop trying to. Stop. Don't engage. Once you teach yourself to not respond to those digs that really get under your skin and drive you crazy and make you go, that is not what I said. Do they care that that's not what you said? They don't care. They don't care. It has nothing to do with if that's what you said or not. It's the fact that them saying that you said it gives them justification for whatever bullshit's coming out of their mouth next. You responding and say, that's not what I said. Now we're going to go back and forth over these little bitty nitpicky details. They're going to go take part of your sentence and twist it on you. They're going to trip you up over your own words. Don't engage. Don't do it until you get to the point that you're numb, when you realize just how much time you're spending with this incessant verbal diarrhea, ignorance coming out, and stop. And once you get frustrated and you're sick of it, you'll stop caring. Once you go numb, you're ready to go. And once that happens, reach out, get help. When you're rational, not when you're in the middle of a fight, unless you're in danger, that's different. If you're in the middle of a fight and they're in the background and you're like, bah, 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 and they're like, bah, 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 and somebody's on the phone like, the fuck is going on? Try to be as rational as you possibly can. Do not engage. And when you can, if you are safe, get out. Run. That's my advice. I hope it helps. I hope it helps somebody that needed it. It's at the very, 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 very end of this live stream. So I might cut, I don't know. You guys think I should cut that part out and post it separately? I just want it to be in the universe in case someone is like desperate and Googling and find some keywords for the title that might trigger a search, and maybe they can see it and maybe it can help somebody. One person, it makes it all worthwhile. One person that gets some confidence or strength or will to do something different or think about something differently or hope. One person is worth years of being on this channel. If I can help one person legitimately and honestly, that's all I care about. Yeah, I'd like to help more people, but that's all it takes. It makes everything worthwhile, because when you're in that situation and you are trapped, you feel you're isolated and you're alone and you feel like nobody understands and everyone would make fun of you and people would be so, you're going to be so embarrassed and people are going to just, how the hell, and you know how many times people say, well, I don't understand how you could put up with that. How would you deal with that? How did you let that happen? Why did you stay? And I'm like, that line of questioning, you guys, will make someone who's truly in a scary, dangerous, toxic situation go back in their shell, put their armor on, and just hide and just hope. Or if they even have any left. You can discuss that at some later time. When someone's in the middle of these toxic crises, you guys, please do not. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? Like, do not do that. Do not do that. Please do not do that. Just say, okay, well, what do you need? What can I help you with? You're right. That doesn't sound very good. I don't think you're in the wrong. I think that maybe this isn't a great situation. Are you okay? What do you need? Do you know? That's okay. We don't have to talk about everything right now. That's fine. Just know I'm here if you need me. That's it. That little bit of hope that they're not completely isolated means everything. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling about that. I hope this helped. I'm not going to stay on much longer. It's already been 2 hours. And frankly, I need to make some lunch for my kiddo before people start doing their afternoon lives. I appreciate everybody that has been here. I hope that I made some sense. And you know what? There will be somebody out there that maybe will catch a piece of it and maybe it'll help them or distract them for 20 minutes or something, or give some insight to maybe their family member is going through something and they're looking for some help with how to get through to them or help them, or, you know, understand what's going on and how to identify if this is the situation. So like I said, if it helps even one person, you guys, anyone that's been through it, you guys, you know, anyone that's been affected by a narcissistic person, like I can't think of the word, like deeply and genuinely affected by somebody that is a narcissist. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you know, you know. And here's the thing, and I'm going to say this, y'all call me an asshole if you want. If you know, you know. And if you think that I'm just sitting here, you seem narcissistic, look at your, and I had someone say this, like, you recording yourself talking about narcissists? Yep. Because if you know, you understand what I'm doing and you understand why and you get it. If you don't know, I genuinely don't give two shits what you think about this subject, because this is not your place. It's not your place. Anyway, I love you guys. If you want more of this type of conversation, or me talking at you guys, if you want more, I have plenty of stories and explanations and examples and everything from verbal, physical. There was drug and alcohol abuse. There were children involved, DCF involved. There was SRS involved. There was cheating involved. There's all the things over a course of a long period of time. out of all the stories, all the situations, and, you know, things to be careful of and things that worked for me. Whether it works for you or not, that's fine. You know, that's not how, not everybody's the same. I survived by shutting down all of my emotionally empathetic type connections because it works for me. And people, that's why when people come at me and tell me that I'm like unfeeling or cold or I'm such a bitch or God, you're such like you're such you sound such a bitch. I don't care. Because if that keeps me safe and helps me help others, I would, in a heartbeat, sacrifice my emotional empathy to survive the situation that I was in. And you know what I'm talking about, how bad it was. I would make that choice again and again and again and again, anytime. Not cognitive, you guys, emotional, like because you cry, I cry. I would sacrifice that for the rest of my life every time. That choice is not, it's not even a choice. If that's the trade off, I'm good. And if that means that people come at me and say that I just seem standoffish and cold and uncaring and don't give a shit, like when we were doing the Call Me Crazy podcast, people would be like, they'd say this, this, and this. And I'm like, and they're like, I'd have people message me like, does it even bother you? And I'm like, well, you know, I don't relate to people that come in and they cry at me like, pew, pew, throw their emotions at me. I know that works for some people, but for me, I'm there for the discussion. I'm there for the talking points. I'm there for the back and forth. I'm not there. I don't do well saying, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying. I'm sorry. Oh, that just, oh no. Oh no. Oh, I'm so, oh, that sucks. I was like, well, shit, that's some bullshit. Like, you see what I'm saying? So I get shit for it constantly. I would still make the choice to trade my freedom for my emotional empathy. I'm okay. You know. So when people are like, well, you know, you just seem really, that's why I say I'm not the one. As a moderator, I'm not the one, because you ain't pulling my heartstrings, baby. It ain't happening. You think that because you say you're nice that I believe you? Give me a fucking break. Methinks you protested too much. That's a whole other subject. That's on a short too. Anyway, so I think I am done rambling. I apologize. Oh, fun fact, I just got the reason I kept looking at my phone, I was getting call after call after call. It was somebody at the gate to deliver something from Walmart, and I had put the gate code and they just didn't know what it was. So they were calling me and I'm like, I'm not answering that. So I just texted them back and I said, here's the gate code. And so I have dirt and I ordered petunia seeds.